I found myself rooting for a woman having an affair with a married man for nearly 3 decades.
Ah, yeah, and somehow Elin Hilderbrand made that feel romantic.
We need to unpack this book immediately.
Hey, friends. Welcome to the Book Barn. I'm Laisha.
And I'm Lainey, and we are so excited to have our book club friend Elisa here in the Book Barn. She was also a teammate of mine at school for several years. We taught 2nd grade together, and now she teaches kindergarten. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me come.
We're so glad that you're here.
So before we get too deep into the heartbreak and the Nantucket charm, we've got to catch up for a second. It's been a busy couple of weeks, girls.
It has. I feel like we kind of scattered there for a bit. Lainey, didn't you have a little getaway?
Yes, my husband and I went to Branson. We did some roller coasters. We ate yummy food. It was a good time.
How fun. Branson's always fun. Did you do any of those dinner shows?
We did not.
Didn't?
But we did stop at a lot of used bookstores on the way home.
Nice.
I ended up with 3 or 4 books that I didn't need.
Well, that's fun.
It was
probably
fun.
better than the dinner shows. How about you, Elisa?
Oh, let's see. I've been busy. My husband and I have planted a big garden, and we have lots of chickens. So I've been collecting eggs every day. And
She's the egg lady.
I am. I love my chickens. And then I take the eggs to the farmer's market on Saturday. And I've been taking my eggs, plants, produce.
Nice.
But I enjoy meeting new people, and some of the same people come back every week. It's fun. Oh, we've been shopping. Because my daughter is going to be a Neowalla candidate.
Oh, fun.
Queen candidate.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I started out the summer with a cruise.
I was so jealous.
Me too.
Seeing that picture of you looking out on the water, I was like, oh, I want to be there.
It was fun. I went with my husband and my youngest son and his girlfriend, and we did have a really good time. We do cruise often, and we usually go in winter months. So our favorite time to cruise is probably January and February. And so we went in May, and it was hot.
Was it too hot to sit on your balcony and read books?
No, and I did that. I counted that as extreme sport right there. No, sitting on my balcony and watching the waves. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That does sound amazing.
It was a relaxing trip. I did enjoy it. Just the heat part, I'm like, I'm coming back here again in January.
That would be a fun girls' trip.
It would.
Ooh.
Yeah. Book club on the seas.
I'm in.
I'll save my chicken, my egg.
Your egg money.
Your egg money.
Might take a while. But.
Sounds good. So before we dive into this book today, we love getting to know a little bit more about our guests. And Elisa, you're a kindergarten teacher, so you're surrounded by children's books all day. Do you have some favorites?
Oh, man. I love books. And if you saw my classroom, I have lots of books. And so I have certain ones that I read at certain times. And I just have some favorite authors like Jan Brett because of her illustrations. I actually got to hear Patricia Polacco at Pitt State, and so it was fun to hear her and hear some of her stories. And I'm from Michigan, and so I knew some of the places that she was talking about in her books. But my favorites right now are Mo Willems, Piggie and Elephant, just because, you know, I can use those in my classroom and they have a story or a lesson, and I like to use voices. So I have a piggy voice and I have an elephant voice.
Shifting gears?
Yeah, let's shift gears a little bit. Adult books. What has been your favorite book club book?
Oh, man. So before I started the book club, I would have said Nicholas Sparks. But by being in the book club, I have learned that I like mysteries. And I even like historical fiction, which are books that I probably wouldn't have picked off of the shelf. So the Book of
Lost Names, right? Yes.
I love that one.
One of my favorites.
That's my favorite. But I've enjoyed several others since.
Good. I love that book too. So we're always curious about where people get their books. So are you a buyer, a borrower, or a digital reader?
I am definitely a borrower. If you know me, I like free.
Yeah, free is always good. Penny pincher.
Yes. And so I go to the library and check them out, or I check out Hoopla or Libby. And if I can't find them there, or I have them on the waiting list for a long time, then I check out YouTube and see if I can find them there. The other thing that I was having a hard time during some of the months, I have a hard time sitting and reading. And so it used to be kind of a joke. The first question that everybody would ask me at book club is, did you finish?
Did you finish?
Did you
I
finish?
remember that.
And so when I could only just read, I wasn't always getting the book finished. But I always try to get the book, and I like to listen because it just makes it kind of come alive.
Yeah, it's an immersive experience then.
And then I'm not paying attention to other people or conversations and just kind of get lost in it. But I do have a hard time sitting and letting myself just sit and read. And so if I can do the laundry or do the dishes while I'm listening, I feel like it's okay. And
I don't think you're alone in that. I know several of our book club girls listen. So,
And I have a really hard time with audiobooks. Isn't that strange? I am just too distracted that I lose track of the audio. And I'm like, what did they just say? And I have to go back and back. I do that with print also, but I feel like I can just focus better on it when I'm reading it instead of listening. Yeah, I've tried to do a few audiobooks, and it's just not my thing. I wish it was, because I would like to be able to clean, or I tried sewing one time, and I think I just had to focus a little bit too much sewing that I couldn't concentrate on the book as well too. So don't sew and listen. It's a no-go.
I like to
Drive.
listen while I'm driving, which is maybe bad, but go to get those grandkids. It's 3 hours. So.
Yeah. No, you can listen to quite a bit.
Quite a bit of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. Good deal. So I think libraries are like little underrated gems. You know, people really need to take advantage of those more.
definitely.
Speaking of libraries, we have a new library worker here.
Library assistant.
Library
Yeah.
assistant in the barn. Leisha got a new job.
I did.
Good for you.
Thank you.
In
Yeah.
Sherryville?
In Sherryville, yeah. Yeah, I'm part-time there.
Great.
So this book,
Yes.
I think it's time. We better talk about this little gem here. 28 Summers by Elin Hilderbrand. So ladies, what were your initial thoughts?
I liked it.
Good. You missed a crazy book club.
Oh, I wish I could have been there.
Very mixed. Some people were like, didn't like it. Didn't like it because of the infidelity.
Oh, yeah.
But some loved it. Not because of the infidelity, but
the whole-
they loved the story as a whole.
Yeah.
I thought it was well written. I thought it was a quick read. I thought there was some depth, and I liked the Nantucket setting. So that's what I thought.
Yeah. And how fortunate was Mallory to inherit that cottage? Wasn't that awesome?
A
Mallory's
dream.
It was a dream. Mallory's Aunt Greta, well, that part wasn't a dream. Her Aunt Greta died, but then she inherited $100,000 and then this beautiful cottage. So I don't know if it was beautiful to begin with, but it's
On the beach.
on the beach, so
that
why
was good
not?
enough.
So an idea came from the movie, same time next year. It's a 1978 romantic comedy. And at the beginning, Mallory, our main character, and Jake, they're single. And so this strange arrangement they came up with, it's okay because, well, it's strange, but it's not hurting anyone.
Oh, you know what? We should have a synopsis.
We don't have that.
No. Okay, so do you want me to read this synopsis here?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this is from the inside cover of the book. When Mallory Blessing's son, Link, receives her deathbed instructions to call a number on a slip of paper in a desk drawer, he certainly doesn't expect Jake McLeod to answer. It's the late spring of 2020, and Jake's wife, Ursula de Guernsey, is the front-runner in the upcoming presidential election. Link is sure there's been a mistake. How do Mallory and Jake know each other? Flashback to the summer of 1993. Mallory has just inherited a beachfront cottage on Nantucket from her aunt, and she agrees to host her brother Cooper's bachelor party. Cooper's college friend, Jake McLeod, attends, and Jake and Mallory form a bond that will persevere through marriage, children, and Ursula's stratospheric political rise until Mallory learns that she's dying. Inspired by the film Same Time Next Year, which Mallory and Jake watch every summer, 28 Summers is the unforgettable story of an unconventional love that knows only one season.
So Labor Day, every year, no matter what.
No matter what. It was a romantic idea. Don't know that I could do that.
No.
Okay, so big question here. What do we think about Mallory's choice to maintain this relationship with Jake despite his marriage? That's where everybody was having a hard time. What did you think? It didn't ruin the story for you?
No, it was a fun story. It's a summer story.
It's fiction.
Yes. I always wish that they could get together.
Right.
I wish they had gotten together.
I know.
I know that infidelity is wrong, but I appreciated Hilderbrandt's writing. I enjoyed how it wasn't real black and white in the book. You were kind of rooting for them, hoping they'd get together.
Yeah.
And she tried throughout the years. She dated other men.
I know.
But she always compared him to Jake.
Yeah.
One of the gentlemen, we were all at the book club meeting saying she should have stayed with Scott.
Yeah, that last one, Scott. She loved being with him.
And he adored her.
Yeah. But then she was like, had to compare him to Jake and just couldn't give that up, couldn't give Jake up.
He was the only one that was worth a diddle, in my opinion.
Scott.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like Bear.
Well, no.
But it was neat how that he came back around and
That was cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So as the years went on, I started to feel more frustrated, though, with them. When do you say this is enough? I mean, because it was pretty obvious, he wasn't going to leave Ursula. I'm like, when do you say, I need more? Enough is enough or more?
I agree.
And I thought, well, he said he didn't ever know how she felt. So if she would have told him earlier, do you think he would have left Ursula?
Maybe. I feel like that was silly for him to not think he knew how she felt. I thought she made that pretty obvious.
Well, I don't think she wanted to move.
No, she didn't.
And
probably not.
It had a lot to do, I think, with location.
Maybe.
I don't know. So can we talk about the structure of the writing?
Okay.
I loved each chapter, how it started with that what were we talking about section.
I did too.
Oh, so fun. I loved it. I wrote down some examples. Like when we got to the 2003, it talked about the Space Shuttle Columbia. In 2004, it mentioned Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction, things like that. When it listed names like Carmela, Christopher, Tony, Polly, did you know what they were talking about?
No,
I didn't.
It's The Sopranos. And that was in 2000. And Mike and I just watched that this summer. So we were kind of late. But it was really cool how she would, even song lyrics she would list from that year. And then I would think about, I'm sure you guys did too, like, what were you doing during those years?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It made me remember some of the things that happened, because you just, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would read them, and I would get kind of tearful reading some of it because I was like, we lived that. The shows you watched and, the songs you listened to, and that was actually part of our lives. And to go back and revisit that, and I would be like, sniff, sniff.
Yeah, like, that's the year I had my first child, or that's the year you got married.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wrote down a few things that happened in the story. Like the first year, 93, she gets the house, the inheritance, and then her brother's bachelor weekend, which is what started all this off. 94, brother's already divorced. 95, that's when Mallory took the student, Jeremiah, to the pond. What did you think about that?
I couldn't believe she did that.
I couldn't either. Like, girl, you
You
better.
don't do that. But back then,
Might have been different.
things were different.
That's true. Okay.
And she talked about it later on in the book that, what was she thinking?
What was she thinking? But she was just trying to really make that connection with him and help that kid, not feel better, or at least to feel better about himself.
Because he was lonely.
Yeah, he was lonely.
Didn't get to go on another trip with,
Which you do see him later on in the book.
and that does not work out well.
No, it didn't work out for her. No.
But then again, that year that she took him to the pond, her brother's probably getting married again, because doesn't he get married 6 times or 5 times?
5 times, yeah.
A lot.
I think.
Poor guy. So which of the characters do you think showed the most growth? Or is the answer none of them?
I don't know. They were all...
Maybe Frey, but maybe not. He was a mess early on.
He was, and then he did get married and seemed like he got his act kind of together. Yeah. Started his coffee business, which really did well. But I just felt like they were all so immature for being these big, successful powerhouses. Most of them. Mallory was the school teacher living on the beach, and that's really all she kind of... I mean, I don't think she really wanted anything else beyond that. Like, she didn't want to move to the city, or...
She didn't like the city.
No, she didn't like the city. Well, she came from the city
yeah.
to her cottage, and so she didn't want, she didn't want any of that big, sparkly life. But Leland did. Frey went on, too. I mean, even Cooper was... What was Cooper... What did her brother do? He had some
He was always getting married. I don't know.
Well, and he traveled, and, like, she didn't even really travel, did she?
No.
She just waited for her weekend.
She did.
But she made things better in her house.
She did.
And she bought a boat.
Oh, that's right. She learned to sail.
Yeah. I'm not saying she had a bad life. I don't know. I don't know who had the most growth.
In my opinion, it might have been Frey.
Well, like I said, I thought maybe Mallory. Because she made things better for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. So what about the timing? Jake and Mallory, are they meant to be, do you think? Or was the relationship sustained by the forbiddenness of it?
Yeah. I think it's kind of like that saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but it was kind of like taken to the extreme, just the anticipation. 28 years of intense summer reunions. So what do you think, Elisa?
I really wanted them to get together.
I do think they loved each other. I don't think that was really a question. I do think that they loved each other. Now, whether they had the type of love that could sustain throughout the years, if they had been together full time, that part I'm not sure. Because they didn't even contact each other in the in-between.
They didn't
And
want
I'm
to get
like,
caught. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
So what do you think, Lainey?
I don't know. No, I don't know what I think about it. I mean, I think it once he got married, I think it should have been over, obviously. But I thought it was unfair to herself. You know, early on in the book, she talks about how her parents loved her brother more. He was the chocolate chip cookie. She was the oatmeal raisin. So maybe she didn't have the confidence. But that's not true because she had other men that were very interested in her. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Not really sure.
And then Jake, he was building this whole life, a family with someone else. So, I mean, if he loved her so much, how could he go and do that too? I don't know.
Do you think he just flipped a switch? Like, this is City Jake. This is Labor Day weekend Jake. I don't know.
A little bit, but I think he thought about her all year long too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think what did you call it? Not city, but I think he wanted to be Labor Day Jake, but he made the vows and the commitment.
And there was a child involved.
Yes.
I wish that Mallory would have told him Tess wasn't his. So then he would have left.
Yeah. Bess.
Oh, Bess.
Yeah.
I think they determined that she was his. She
Yeah.
looked like him. But there was that.
There was a question about it, but
Yeah.
he ended up, she said it was.
Okay, the ending. Did you like it?
I did. I mean, I hated to see her get melanoma
Yeah.
and
Die.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated it as well. But there was a little surprise for me at the end that made my heart a little happy. The kids.
Oh, the kids. Yeah. And did you know that there is a second book?
I didn't know that until it was in our group chat.
Yeah. Yeah. The Sixth Wedding. And it's a short story. It's only it's under 100 pages, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And it wraps up a whole bunch of stuff.
So you've already read it?
I have read it. Yeah.
I have not.
Yep. So I'm not going to tell you about it. Maybe you want to read it, but
do.
Yeah. I thought the ending was all right. I guess, we're talking about this book and we're being so deep about all of these relationships and everything. And I wasn't thinking about them that deeply as I'm reading. And I read it in a day. Like I started.
No way.
Yeah, she kept asking me, have you started yet? Have you started? And I'm like, no, I'm just kind of in this slump. I can't get going. And I said, I know that once I start, I'll be okay. And so I started it. I just went for it whole day, just read. I mean, I just had to keep going, had to see what happened. And I really did enjoy it. I thought
I enjoyed it
great.
too. I did. I would have rated it higher than the book club girls did.
Yeah.
Because they, like we said, they could not agree. Like
Yeah.
we had some that gave it a 2.
And I agree that the infidelity is not okay. That was their issue. Well, they had some other issues too with other people, and
But then others gave it a 4.
Stacy had 5 plus. We're giving Stacy a shout out here because she loved it, but I liked it.
I liked it. I'd give it a 4 for myself. What do you think? What would you give it?
I would say a 4. It was fun to read. You were thinking through the whole book. Are they going to get together? And I don't know, you just kind of got involved with them and wanted to see what happened next.
If every story had a happy ending at the second chapter, there would be no book. So you have to have all that conflict.
So would you all recommend it?
I would. Well, I guess if that bothers you.
Maybe if you've experienced infidelity, that would be bad.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe you can just be in that fictional world and be okay with it. I don't know.
I think the thing that can be with this book that's bad about it is it wasn't just a little affair that ends.
Right.
It was
Year after year.
Yeah. 28 years is a long time, and it was Mallory's lifetime, her adult life, and in this type of relationship. And so, I mean, I can understand why people would not like that. So I guess I couldn't just say, yeah, I recommend it for everyone, because if that's something that would bother you, then just don't do it. Don't read.
I think overall the girls decided on a 3.25.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you looking forward to our next book?
I am. And it's on
Hoopla. Yes. I was so glad you told us that. I had already downloaded it. Now I can have it on audio as well. So I can read, and then when I get in the car, listen and just kind of bounce back and forth. I'm excited.
And that book is Summer at Hideaway Key.
Yes, by
Barbara Davis.
And we've read her before. Leisha and I have.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's not wonderful, because she's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So this has been a lot of fun. So are we Team Mallory or are we Team Reality Check? What are we?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I was Team Mallory, actually.
I think I was too.
I was Team Mallory.
So let us know on social media, and don't forget to check out our next month's pick.
Until next time, I'm Leisha.
I'm Lainey.
I'm Elisa.
And keep your bookmarks bouncing.